What was the biggest scandal in American history? The Watergate scandal. On June 17, 1972, a former CIA agent and 4 Cuban exiles were caught burglarizing the DNC offices at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C., after a security guard reported taking tape off of the lock of a door, leaving and coming back an hour later and finding new tape, which prompted him to call the police. The 5 men were reported to have been attempting to wiretap the DNC offices as well as steal documents relating to the Democratic Party. The 5 men were recruited by members of the Committee for the Re-election of the President, or the CRP. The 5 men would be investigated and linked back to Richard Nixon's re-election campaign, in which Richard Nixon was concerned with winning at all costs. The Nixon administration would try extensively to cover up the scandal and potential connections to the administration by pressuring the FBI to stop investigating, delaying interrogations, paying hush money to the plumbers or the group behind the burglary and wiretappings, and preventing Democrat House Banking Committee Chair Wright Patman from completing his own probe into the White House. The 5 burglars themselves and 2 key figures in the burglary, George Liddy and E. Howard Hunt, would be indicted on 8 counts but none connecting to the White House. The cover-ups would prove successful and Nixon would win in the largest landslide in American history, winning 49 of 50 states. Most people at the time did not associate Nixon with the Watergate scandal, which also prevented the Democratic Party from making it a campaign issue. However, things would explode during Nixon's second term, and his involvement would be discovered when the Senate would create a committee to investigate the Watergate break-in and discover secretly proposed operations to smear and spy on Democratic candidates, destroy evidence, and the hush money. The Watergate scrutiny would also expose a slew of other abuses, including bombings in Cambodia and illegal CRP donations from American Airlines. Ultimately, after a long legal battle, the committee would be able to get a hold of tapes recording conversations in the White House, exposing Nixon's involvement in the Watergate scandal, and Nixon would face an impeachment but resign on August 9, 1974, before the House could vote. Vice President Gerald Ford would take office and pardon Nixon just a month later to protect him from potential charges of obstruction of justice. In total, 69 people would be charged with crimes related to the Watergate scandal. What do you think about the Watergate scandal? Let us know in the comments and be sure to like and follow if you learned something.